Defendant Teddy King and her witness, Portia March, say that when they moved in with the defendant, she tried to con them into footing the bill for the medical marijuana lab in her basement. Teddy says the plaintiff is obsessed with marijuana, and she denies owing the plaintiff for a phone bill or a dog. Prove your case.
It all started back in November of 2006. Teddy was my friend, and she showed up at my door, homeless and in desperate need of a place to stay with Portia and Portia's 2-year-old son. And I opened up my house to them to let them stay with the provision that they'd help me pay extra utilities.
Your Honor, she wanted me to pay for her medical marijuana lab in her basement. After we found that out, I wasn't paying anything.
You wanted them to pay for your medical marijuana lab?
No!
Yes, she did.
Medical marijuana lab is paid for by the purchasers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, not the electricity bill.
Let her finish. If she had medical marijuana, she was selling it, and that means she could pay for it herself.
Right.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, well, I wasn't getting any compensation or help with the extra utilities, and it turned out that I had to, Portia and Teddy got into a fist fight, and Portia was asked to leave.
Your Honor, if we had gotten into a fist fight, do you honestly think we'd be sitting here just buddy-buddy friends? I mean, that's ridiculous. We have never had a fist fight.
Weed, and there ain't no telling what she might do.
We never have had a fist fight, Your Honor. That's a lie. That is a lie.
It's not a lie. She knocked a bunch of stuff down out of my attic and broke it when she, they got...
What else you want to tell me about your roommate?
Okay, well, Teddy stayed. Still didn't pay me anything, but was accepting collect phone calls from her boyfriend in prison, which I was giving her the statements for her to pay, and she never paid me anything. So
how much did she...
There's about $1,200 worth of...
Collect calls?
Okay, her boyfriend happens to be in jail with my ex-boyfriend. That's how we met each other.
Her boyfriend?
That's
her boyfriend. What's your boyfriend?
They met each other
in jail.
Yeah. That's how we met.
They y'all to be with each other? Is that
No, they're in the same. They were in the same institution. So my boyfriend, I didn't have a collect phone call. She was selling her phone line, so girls would come to the house and pay, $3 a phone call. She had women in there coming in and out. I mean, she would have Portia accepting calls, calling girls on three-way. This is how she made her money, because her phone bill was paid through the state.
She made her money selling
She didn't sell it. That's all personal.
That was personal.
That was all personal. She cooked brownies, cookies, popcorn, everything was medical marijuana, weed butter. I mean, she's obsessed with weed. The woman is...
Teddy King says that once she moved in with the plaintiff, she tried to get her to pay for the medical marijuana lab in her basement.
Go right ahead.
We agreed to pay $50 a month for the electricity. She goes to do laundry after we find a $500 electricity bill that she wants us to pay. When we go to do laundry, she finds this huge lab. She's got 3 bedrooms upstairs. All of them had tropical birds and then heat on all the time. We never knew this when we moved in. We never knew it would be a $500 electricity bill.
What was your agreement when you moved in?
To pay $50. It was to pay a portion of the electricity. She said to help her out with the electricity.
What,
because
just the electric?
Just the electricity bill. And then I paid for each one of my phone calls that I got.
How much did you pay toward the phone bill?
Every single month it'd be like $200. Some months it's like $150.
How many months did you live there?
I lived there from November until June.
Ma'am, how much do you say she paid on the phone bill?
She didn't pay anything on the phone bills, and here's the phone bills.
I mean, that's unrealistic.
I asked her for money, but she never gave me any.
Over the course of 6 or 7 months, she never paid anything?
Stringing me along, telling me she was going to give me money, and when finally
About the 3rd month, why did you say she stringed?
Yeah, 3rd month after that, I stopped letting her accept them. She would accept them when I wasn't there. She would accept the calls, and I quit accepting them and giving them to her.
How did she ultimately leave the premises?
I had written her a 30 days, give me some money, or find a new place to live, and she got ballistic.
Is this true?
Your Honor, she doesn't work. She's at home.
I didn't ask you that. Did she give you a 30 days notice?
On one day she did, and I moved out that same day. She kept all of my clothes. She kept everything I owned in the house.
Why did she give you a notice to leave?
Because I found out I was pregnant, and she said that she hated kids. I'm ruining my life. She told me I was like a daughter to her. After she found out I was pregnant, and I wasn't staying there anymore. I was staying with my boyfriend. We were waiting for her house to open up. She was.
You don't remember her saying anything about you owe her money? All she talked about is you being pregnant and your boyfriend in prison when she asked you to leave.
No, she told me, you never stay here anyway, so why should you be able to come and go? This isn't, she called it a flop house, because I would come in, I would change, and I would just go to work. I left my clothes there, and I lived with my boyfriend off and on. She said if I had a place to stay, that I should move out.
This is a 30-day notice. Did you receive this? Hand this to her, please.
This isn't the copy of
Did you have a copy?
No, but I
Do you
didn't.
recall what it said?
It said this is a 30-day notice to move, and then an hour later she gave me a 24-hour notice to move.
She didn't say why on the notice.
She told me because I had somewhere to stay. When I first moved in, the
She
agreement
didn't
was...
mention money at all.
No, it never, the agreement never said
She's suing you
that.
today for money.
I don't know why she's suing me, because she doesn't pay her phone bill. She has a trust that pays it. That's why she was making money. She had no money to get the money out of her trust.
This is June of 07, right? That's
Yeah.
when you moved?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the dog you're suing about.
Yeah, she blatantly broke into my house, into my bedroom, and stole the dog that Portia bought.
She bought the dog for you?
No, she bought the dog and brought it to my house without asking to
She
bring it.
gave the dog to you?
No, she abandoned the dog.
No, I left the dog in Teddy's care. I had a dog also.
When you moved out?
Yeah, my dog and her dog, yes.
All right.
And she called the police.
Ma'am, you say she took the dog, right? The defendant?
I have had the dog for 4 months.
I understand that.
And
But she took the dog with her.
Yeah.
And she was the original owner. The original owner says, I left the dog with my friend.
But, Your Honor, they had a fist fight, and that just doesn't make sense at that time.
You've been spoken today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You want to speak, ma'am? Your witness want to come up. Come on up.
Yes, I'm Pam North, and Your Honor, she has had that dog for 4 months, and it's the only home that the dog ever knew. And she took care of that dog, and she even has a testimony from her therapist that it was a therapy dog for her. And Portia did abandon that dog there, and Teddy couldn't even take care of her own dog, let alone another dog.
You hear what the owner has said today?
Yes, I
She
did.
said she didn't abandon it. She said she left it with her friend, who took it with her when she moved. I believe her and the owner. Let's see your phone bills, ma'am. Do you have any evidence that you paid any of the bills?
She had a trust fund, and she used to turn in her phone bills, and like we'd go shopping, we'd give her our clothing receipts, and she would get money back from the state because she had no income. But she had this trust fund for when her mom had died. It was like $40,000.
It didn't have to do with the payments you
The phone bill she would send in, she would not give us any, that's why there's no rental agreement, there's no electricity bill receipt.
How
She
did
would
you
not
pay
give us a receipt. But we paid her cash every single time.
You as well?
Yeah.
How much did you pay?
The time I was living there, I gave a total of like $400. And I only stayed there like 4 months.
So you gave her $100 a month, and you say you gave her $200 a month.
It went from 200 to 300.
And you, okay. And you lived there how long once again?
I lived there from November to June.
8 months. So you paid her approximately $2,400 in phone bills, and you paid her $400 in phone bills. So that would have amounted to $2,800 you all paid her in total. So, ma'am, how much was your phone bill averaging per month?
There's almost $1,200 in collect phone calls there
For which month?
for all of it, altogether.
All together. And they say they paid you $2,800. They say they paid you nearly double the amount.
Honor, she was
They're
on
so generous
SSI.
they paid you double the amount.
She was on SSI, that's why we couldn't furnish, any proof.
That's why you were nice enough to pay her double than what was owed.
No, because part of it was for electricity, part of it was for she didn't buy it.
$50. Remember, that's all she charged was $50.
But we never asked her for proof of the bills or anything. She would just show us.
So you paid her double without even asking.
No.
You gave her $200-300 a month, didn't even ask for a bill. How generous
No,
are
she
you?
was going to food banks.
Please continue your generosity today. I'll grant you your $1,200. However, ma'am, I do believe them when she refers to it being her dog and having left the dog with her friend, who subsequently took it when she left the premises. $1,200 for the phone bill is your judgment.